Welcome back for the first place decider between Fnatic and Invictus Gaming. Fnatic just forced IG into this tiebreaker as they won just a few minutes ago. A 28-minute victory, good performances across the board, and now they get to see once more who's going to exit as number one.
That was a shellacking. Like, honestly, Fnatic just beat them up in draft. They were able to rotate them around the map a little bit and took complete control of that game. Now there were windows of opportunities for IG to gain big leads. I mean, mid lane looked great, top lane looked great, but when you put it all together, it was like all over the place for IG.
It really was. And I honestly think the fact that they were able to fall behind in lanes and actually just win through team play is even more impressive. Traditionally, you know, when the West is beating these Eastern teams, it's always been through, okay, you need to get a bunch of kills and snowball the game. Fnatic did not really do that this game. It was about their team play. It's about, you know, losing lanes, roaming and fighting as a team. Really, I think they had very strong map play, and I think it was an impressive game.
And I think that's why we're going to see Duke come back in, because when Duke was in LCK, there were criticisms about his teleport usage and his ability to beat people around the map. However, since then, he's been able to pick up a big tank champion pool, you know, things like Ornn, and he has been very efficient in team fights. And I think IG is just like, hey, we never want to play that style of League of Legends again. Like, why are we running everywhere? Let's just win lanes, group up as a team fight, and then try and out 5v5 these guys. Let's out muscle them. They can think all they want. Let's try and take the fight to the Fnatic lineup.
And it could look very good for them. Of course, I do want to see some of their lanes cleaned up, though Rookie had a very good time in the 1v1 against Caps. Both times so far, both times Caps had to blind pick the mid. Rookie got counter, smashed the lane by a lot individually. When they met 30 minutes ago, a ton of ganks from Rookie being just a little bit over-aggressive got punished. A huge camp by Broxah and Hylissang turned the matchup back around, and Caps had a CS deficit with a positive KDA. And with all those roams happening, everything else, it started to get Rekkles ahead. They started snowballing the map that way. So I do want to see if the IG over-aggression can be tempered to sort of remove those openings.
Yeah, and they have to play, you know, with respect to the areas that they don't have vision, right? Twice we saw JackeyLove kind of taking a more dangerous route without vision of his opponents. He gets caught on a ward, then dove by Hylissang and Rekkles. Then heads over to mid lane, walks through the river instead of back behind the turret, and 1v1 killed by Rekkles. So we need to see IG paying that respect over to Fnatic. Fnatic have clearly shown they can not only win, but dominate against IG. And IG is going to have to play a much more clean game if they want to come out first in this group.
And as the analyst desk kind of talked about, these Akali and Irelia bans, maybe not showing up in this one. They're still going to put that Camille ban against Ning, move some of his earlier options there as Invictus start dropping tanks off the table. And we'll see what this draft actually looks like. There are so many things to consider here. I know that Fnatic probably have to blind pick one of their solos, and I'm curious what that matchup then looks like if IG goes for a counter pick.
I mean, that is a story. You know, you talked about it both games. It had been Caps with the blind pick and Rookie winning the laning phase very heavily up in farm. And again, now they are on the red side, so we could be seeing another Rookie counter pick in mid lane. And if he has that, we may see Fnatic go back to the same strategy, attacking that mid lane, attacking and grouping up with Caps to try to get him in.
And I'm really interested that they forced this Urgot Aatrox trade here on Fnatic side. And I was going to say it must be because they want the Akali. Interested to see if that is a blind pick mid lane Akali, and Caps is trying to do like a great Perks impression here, who had probably the most impressive Akali game I think I've ever seen, or whether this is going to be Bwipo in the top lane trying to play it into something like an Ornn and try and style on that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, bringing out a flex pick is one of the ways to sometimes hurt that red side advantage of having mid lane counter pick. But if you are willing to play the Irelia into this matchup, if you say, hey, Irelia is good in this matchup, you can flex that as well. So we have to see where IG does take us in this next couple picks.
Now, another criticism that was leveled at JackeyLove is the fact that he keeps going back to this Kai'Sa. I saw, you know, Rusty on social media saying this is a guy that has played much more lane-dominant AD carries, giving something like a Xayah, giving something like a Draven even in a counter pick, and let the young man go to work. Glad to see that they've done it this time around.
I do like JackeyLove on a slightly stronger laner, though still, of course, a great team fighter as well on this Xayah. The Rakan pairing is there, though Hylissang can obviously grab that himself earlier on.
And that is something that is pretty hotly debated these days, is it worth taking away the Rakan and making your bot lane 2v2 worse to deny it from the opponent having that Xayah Rakan? And that's what Fnatic is going to have to decide, and it looks like they're going to make the call that it is worth that. But then you can look for a more preferential 2v2 matchup here. You already have a fairly lane-dominant marksman with the Xayah, and if you pair that with another advantageous support, something like Leona can pair up well and look for kills against the Rakan, that could be a way for IG to look for a winning lane.
That's what I was going to say. This trade just seems to have not worked out the way a lot of teams thought it was going to because of the popularity of Leona. to not be punished, honestly, this World's run so far. So I think that that would be a nice pick to go towards. Also the fact that, you know, now with Ezreal, you don't really have to worry about lane presence. Maybe you just drop the priority of that, pick up a best jungler, ban 2 of those away, make Broxah suffer for kind of his bottom lane wanting to go towards those picks.
But instead, they don't want to get pinched off of the possible Leona pick. Obviously, cream of the crop once you see the Rakan here. Of course, the Ezreal was picked knowing that was coming in. You want to be safe against Leona, against Irelia. Rekkles should feel fairly safe and should not require attention, nor the babysitting. However, bot lane push should go to Invictus, and now Hylissang cannot roam out nearly as much.
Yeah, and you have to remember that pushing bot lane is Fnatic's bread and butter. That is always what they want to go towards. Rush the Zerkagrees for Rekkles. Shove in your opponents. Deny them the ability to make plays on the map, and this is certainly not the lane to really do it.
And you can see Lissandra banned away. That can be a soft counter pick in the mid lane. If the Irelia ever goes in, just hit the root, get your Aftershock, walk away. In case that Akali does get flexed over, keep in mind, IG get last say on the matchup. They're willing to pick the Irelia into the Akali, and they're going to watch as Bwipo picks his top lane champion as well, or moves the Akali, and we see Caps pick the mid lane champion, and IG are going to get those solo lane counter picks.
And now to really open up that flex, I actually want to see Ning to go back to something like a Zac. I know it's not all that popular, but you've already got a pushing bottom lane. You have yourself the ability to put Irelia, one of the strongest champions, into the mid lane. Zac can be protected in this draft, and it does allow Duke, if he wants to play a carry up in the top lane while still having great engage, something that Ning played against G-Rex, I believe, and played it to a tremendous level.
And I think if they could get through the early game with a pick like that, can be very strong, but then you do have to worry about the fact that Broxah has had some very strong early game performances. A couple of Lee Sins that he's turned in have looked really, really good, and we know that Zac can be punished early sometimes, and if you fall behind due to that Lee Sin, maybe you never really get the chance to get those even-scaled team fights.
Olaf, Lee Sin, Trundle even are still plenty popular, plenty powerful jungle picks available. The Zac is left up as well, and Invictus, now Gragas probably makes even more sense there as a good damage, good early game frontline jungler.
Not only that, it actually really mucks up the Lee Sin combo. When Lee Sin goes in, if you just body slam back towards it, makes the kick a little bit harder to execute upon. So it is the safer pick. It's also kind of that pseudo tank, so once again you can do exactly what we said with the Zac pick, but this is more throwing the gauntlet, fight fire with fire style, and I don't think Ning has really excelled against Broxah in that way.
So the final pick for Fnatic, what is Bwipo going to play? Will he keep the Akali, or do they lock in a top laner and put that win in towards mid? They lock in a tank for him, so Bwipo will go back onto that Ornn. He played it before. And we have the Akali in the mid lane, immediately answered by LeBlanc here for Rookie. The Irelia will go top. They will play fighter in a tank top lane, and LeBlanc versus Akali in the mid lane.
And this is another advantageous matchup for Rookie. This is one of the matchups that a lot of people had been looking at as an answer to Akali in the mid lane. One in which you can have kill pressure, one in which you can attack the Akali in the Shroud, hitting her with those distortions and looking to dominate that lane, as Rookie has been known to do.
And this is also one of the mind games that IG has done multiple times now, where they play Xayah the first game, he plays a carry, they sub Duke in, they pick themselves something that is flexible, and then all of a sudden, Duke ends up playing a carry as well. You can see that his tank champion pool was attacked. You know, they take Ornn away from him. IG had to ban the Sion because they didn't want to give away one of the safest top/mid laners in the game right now. But I think the flexibility of this has really helped IG in the past.
And while it is a carry champion, it's certainly not the Fiora where you have to commit to the split push. This is much more of a team fighting carry. This is a composition that certainly can look to scrap with Fnatic if they try to draw them into that 5v5.
So it's going to be a very exciting game. Now the battle for the first seed on the line. If you're seed 1 coming out of this group, you're playing Edward Gaming, Cloud9, or G2 Esports in the quarterfinals. We know Fnatic have already beaten G2 this year. We watched the EULCS, but if you're seed 2, if you do lose this game, your battles are KT Rolster, the Korean champions, World Never Give Up, the LPL and MSI champions, or Freak of Freaks, no slouch in their own right, the only other Korean team remaining in this tournament. Definitely things to play for in this tiebreaker. They're in the quarterfinals, but who their opponents will be are going to be decided now over the next half hour of League of Legends. Fnatic and Invictus Gaming on the Rift, the battle for the top spot in their group.
And we'll see whether Fnatic can continue that momentum. That was such an impressive victory. It would still be fresh on IG's mind, and things need to change for the Invictus lineup.
What do they do? And Fnatic is setting up for a bit of a cheeky level 1, but Rekkles has been spotted.
Ooh, they try to find out Rookie. That was cute. I like that. If he was in that brush a little bit longer, a little bit farther forward, that could have been a knock-up. Able to get away, no problem, though, and it will be a fairly uneventful early game. Ooh, free gold on a Rekkles. Lands the Q.
It doesn't result in anything, but I like the attempt, right? You know, going for these pre-planned level 1s, there's very little drawback to them most of the time, and sometimes it is going to get you a kill, sometimes it is going to get you a summoner, and at the very least, it will show your opponents that, hey, we can mix it up in the early game, and you have to play knowing that we could be waiting in any bush.
And I think this is 2 games in a row, actually, where Fnatic's had a good read on the early game. We mentioned the fact that Bwipo leashed, then pulled his wave, got pushed in, allowed himself to scale up. Never really won the lane versus the Xayah, but certainly was more relevant as the game progressed and was more of a team fighting threat this time around. We'll see whether he is able to do the same thing. He's going for a little bit of a cheeky peek into the top side of the map. Now would know where Ning is starting.
And I like that ward that IG puts down. It shows they're trying to push early game. There's the early Q as well. It should track most of Broxah's possible gank paths, and IG should be able to shove without too many difficulties. Hylissang going to even be rooted in place. Take a little bit of damage, but this trade's not going to mean too much. Either way, though, it is IG getting the shove down here. They're going to put Fnatic under the turret, and it will lock Hylissang up.
This is already Broxah moving down, though, and if he comes around this way, down, he will not be spotted by the ward, so he could be going in.
Well, he's only going to be level 2 on this one. He's going to walk forward, gets a safeguard, he's going to land the Q, and JackeyLove going to flash to pull him forward. That's a little bit early, but still a route to behind the flash. Into the knock-up and ignited. Fnatic in first blood in 2 minutes.
And they fail the flash there from JackeyLove, flashing too late. He brings Lee Sin straight to him, and Broxah, another game, another first blood on the bot side.
And you can look at it 2 ways. Either flash the initial Q and just admit that you messed up. If it gets hit, you kind of have to hold firm. You have to flash much later in between the landing of the Q and the first auto attack that comes out, because otherwise, red buff applied, you're just a sitting duck. But once again, you got to applaud the smart early game play style of Fnatic. That is 2 games in a row that they have been able to execute on something like this.
They certainly have, and this is avoiding where that vision was placed. It's smart pathing from Broxah. It should have perhaps just been a summoner, but even then, it would have been worthwhile, and instead, it is a first blood for Broxah, 2 games in a row. Incredible start for Fnatic.
Of course, that is beautiful right there from Fnatic. They saw the ward come down. They knew the route Broxah had to take, and they executed very, very nicely there. So a 400 gold lead for Fnatic, making this surge late in the group stage. They had lost to IG back in the first round robin, but might find themselves 2 wins in a row now on the back half as once again Engage coming forward. Some damage in the Hylissang. Doesn't mean too much.
And I'm just sitting here thinking, people saying Caps versus Rookie, this is the lane matchup to watch. This is 3 games in a row where Caps has taken his mid laner before Rookie, where he's been willing to either first pick or early rotate the mid lane and give a lot of tools to his bottom side of the map to be able to win out. And I think that, game 1 obviously it wasn't successful, but game number 2 was. And now that puts a lot of pressure on Rookie, because he is saying, I need to smash this lane, I'm in the counter pick. And with your bottom lane going poorly, if they lose control, then we have the potential for a repeat of, all of those roams going into the mid lane from bottom lane. This time it's going to be a Rakan, arguably even more successful at doing that.
Yeah, definitely agree. And I think it is encouraging for the side of Fnatic to think, hey, it doesn't always have to be about Caps, right? You can have carry threats from the other lanes. You can have Rekkles stepping up like he did in the first game. You can have Broxah having these incredible games to carry you through, even against these top-level opponents. So certainly encouraging things for them moving forward towards those quarterfinals.
And Broxah's just shown that he's an out-and-out superstar. This guy is having a very good tournament. Has been definitely the best jungler in this group, I would say, and, has relieved a lot of pressure with some smart early game play.
Definitely good stuff from him, and of course, as one of the newcomers to Fnatic, he has been huge for this squad. And let's see what can be next for these players. We know they're going into the quarterfinals. The question is at what seed and what their opponent will be. Of course, that draw will be right after the games conclude, so we'll know these answers very, very soon. 2 separate answers coming in as Caps is trying to suffer through this mid lane matchup once again. Has had to blind pick against Rookie. He's never had the chance for a fair fight. Every single game he's faced off, Rookie gets counterpicked. Every single time, Rookie gets the CS lead. But Caps does very good at losing the minimum, not usually giving away kills, and if the ganks do come through, often does convert.
And hybrid assassins have historically beaten LeBlanc. I'm thinking back to when Katarina was first changed around. Where they all did it was either rushing early Merc Treads if there's more magic, if there's not any more magic damage, but there's CC, or you can even go things like Hex Shrinker. So this lane can potentially get better depending on Caps' itemization if he's really willing to invest in the 1v1.
And they're going to try for the double knockup now into Broxah joining Ward. Hubson looks for a bit of a slow, and JackeyLove doesn't have a way out. Rekkles finds the first kill, and they will continue on to Baolan. One more shot as Hylissang gets the kill, but watch out as Caps gets out of the shroud. He's ignited. He goes down. A trade kill in the mid lane.
Trade kill in the mid lane, but it's 2 kills on the bottom side for Fnatic. Broxah has been everywhere at the start of this game, making so much happen for Fnatic, and this time it's Rekkles who gets one of the kills, which is huge for them.
And it's a stacking creep wave without any teleport response coming down. So this is going to be Ezreal coming online sooner than his opponent. Went the Sheen, went for the aggressive route. You can see very nice by Bwipo.
And they're going to try now on the top side, level 6. Can they interrupt the ult? He's going to flash away, look at the knockup. But does he have the damage? He's close! And yes, in the 1v2, Bwipo finds a solo kill, but he's flashless, and it will be the trade.
Yeah, Ning trying to make things happen around the map, knows his team is falling behind, so he makes a play happen in the mid lane, but had no flash off that and was a little bit low. So it was a good counter kill from Bwipo in the 1v2, and now it's Broxah's turn to make something happen here once again.
And they might have it. Distortions on cooldown, but Caps, the health bar so low. Oh, the Q jukes away! And Rookie is incredible. Finds that kill. Being
He
slowed.
can get Broxah
Has
too.
to run. The clone needs to block. He's got to walk out from this one. And that's going to be the Q getting juked away from Rookie. Able to just stay alive. What a play out of the Invictus mid laner.
And look at the confidence that Rookie plays with. Every opportunity he can look to turn that around, he goes for it.
That's not going to mean much. Don't worry about it.
Nothing happening on the top lane, but you could see that Rookie wanted that 2v1 one more time.
Yeah, and I mean, he might have actually had Broxah had Hylissang not shown up, so a good roam to make sure bad did not go to worse for Hylissang, but it is an outplay for Rookie, and Ning once again on the top side. No flash from Bwipo.
No ult as well. Means no way out. First stun's going to land. Ning does not have flash, but he's going to get these.
Oh, the sidestep!
Bwipo is sick. Gets away from the cask and walks away with his life.
What an outplay there from Bwipo, getting a 1v2 kill, then dodging the next gank that looked like a sure thing.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty because he just also did the little pause afterwards and just still was like, yeah, that one didn't hit me, fellas. Better luck next time.
Oh, Ning going for round 2, though. Broxah, however, is right behind. That sweeper knows his ward.
Spotted, though.
And they're going to try anyway. They're going to pop the spells here. Now, Bwipo, can he get the outplay? Keep in mind his jungler's nearby. And yeah, Ning predators and goes, never mind, this is not for me.
Yeah, because the Akali was rotating up as well. You can see Caps had inside track. Rookie said, do not give him a kill this time around. I've got him isolated. I've got a 20 CS lead. I've got the kill and the assist. Just let me have my 1v1.
Here is this play one more time. Ning coming in. This was the initial 2v1 kill to trade back, and Flash came out. Caps, excuse me, trying to get the trade kill back onto Ning, and then the eventual 1v2 that Rookie was looking at.
Yeah, you can see Caps is trying his best to bait, but the double distort in, and then it's the juke. Last auto attack. Broxah takes an extra turret shot, and you can just see the experience, the ability to kite back. Caps' face there kind of tells the whole tale. As you mentioned, if it wasn't for Hilly showing up in that middle lane, probably could have been the 2-for-1 there.
And we know last game, how Fnatic got Caps back into the lane was these roams. They want to make sure that he is relevant. He is a superstar, but down here on the bot lane, Rookie's roaming.
And it's a 3v2, and Hylissang's going to try to jump backwards. He's going to try to get away, but it is not going to happen. Rookie gets his second kill of the game.
The distortion to keep the chain there was sick from Rookie, and you can see why this guy is considered the best mid laner in the world.
This game really is a tale of two lanes. Fnatic smashing the bottom lane. They got a few ganks, but they're doing so well down here. But the mid lane, again, Rookie with the counter pick. 3 games in a row. Every single time winning lane, this time getting his lead elsewhere, and smashes Hylissang with his roam.
And the coordination's very good because as soon as Rookie shows, Baolan is going, lands a chain, distorts forward as he battle dances away. Nothing you can do there if you're Hylissang. You just kind of have to sit back and marvel at it.
Yeah, just a really well coordinated engage there. The stun from Leona guaranteed the initial hit on the chain, and then the follow doesn't give Hylissang the chance to get out. So now Hylissang on the roam, looking to try to get Caps going here.
Well, they can try, of course. He just killed a control ward, so this movement is known, and we are in a game that is only 300 gold apart. Neck and neck here. Brock's going to try for this Infernal Drake, but the teleport is coming down. This is going to be the fight, though, quickly picked up on the one side, but now battle ensues as it's a 3v3, and Broxah needs to find his way out. He has flash, he needs it, and doesn't burn it for a very... No, it was on cooldown, sorry. Did not have the way out, and does go down to a body slam in the Blade Caller. So now JackeyLove on the board with his first kill.
Still, I'm going to call that, worthwhile there for Fnatic. They get the Infernal. They do give up one kill. It's just about, can IG get anything more after it? Because one kill for the Dragon's looking pretty good.
And I also love this play from Ning because Hylissang is just not being punished for setting up the swag in the mid lane. So instead, they say, you know what? We're just going to push bottom lane as fast as possible. We're going to look to open up the map. We have the team fighting team this time around. Let's go
turn
for
on
it.
him.
And that's a good word by Hylissang. He knows he can walk through, but yeah, this is still an outnumbered
Everyone's
fight.
coming.
And this wave is not going to happen. First turret goes to IG, but now there could be a re-engage. Cap's coming down. Hylissang flashing away. Not going to find his way in. Now they can try again, but Rookie is here. Watch for this. Baolan going to whip the ult, and Caps just creating chaos. So for 1-0 is Fnatic jumping backwards. Caps may stay alive. Watch out for Rookie, though, and he's not going to find that kill. Fnatic, a flash to get out, but now the rest of the squad is in. JackeyLove going to ult to dodge two of them, and they're going to be able to disengage. But Rookie waiting in the wings, finds a root, but he's knocked up. This could be assassination, and it is. Fnatic get 2 kills for the turret.
Yeah, it looked like IG had the play. They could have got out, but Rookie decides, I can go for the outplay. There's no need, though. 5 members from Fnatic in the bot side. Duke is pushing and getting an advantage on the top. You didn't need to go for that play.
Well, they're going to try for another one, though, and this one, Body Slam stops the queue. Here comes Baolan as well. 2v1. Broxah may have bit off more than he can chew. The health bar's running down. The kick, the Q, the second.
Get out.
That was gorgeous. And there's another one coming as JackeyLove also falls. Fnatic win the skirmish.
And Broxah is an absolute monster for Fnatic this game. Taking over 3-1-2. He gets the kill, gets out, baits in JackeyLove, and they take him down.
Listen to that crowd. Fnatic once again up in gold. 1,200 there and the Infernal Drake. What an exciting game. A lot of entertainment provided for the fans here. The final game of the group stage, and once again, this fight by Broxah, incredible.
And you can see it stops the damage of the second Q, but he goes aggressive. I think he surprises the IG jungler. And then just the ability to know that there is no way out. The only way is forward. Styles on him.
I mean, the man had like 20 health and he goes in for the flash kick. He could have looked so silly had he gone down, but he makes it happen. And you gotta feel so good about that one.
I love
That's what our faces were looking like.
Reaction cam. I want him to play every game, not because I dislike Soaz, but because of those reaction cams. Bwipo is the best hype man Fnatic could ever have.
It's like, that's my jungler.
He's so good.
My God. And I mean, Invictus right now just looks rocked. Because honestly, game number 1, Fnatic just beat him around the map. They beat him through team play. IG say, you know what? Enough of that, let's pick a little bit more fight. Now, Fnatic say, all right, let's go.
Yeah, they're scrapping right with them, but IG is still within about 1,000 gold here. The gold still fairly close, but you have to say, JackeyLove has not been having a very good series of games here against Fnatic. Getting picked off a couple times in game number 1, failing to flash the Lee Sin Q in the early gank this game. Now, trying to overcommit and try to kill Broxah there, gives away his flash and his life. He certainly has not been performing, but Fnatic are taking full advantage of it, and Broxah has been having such an incredible set of games.
He really has. Incredible situations and incredible awareness, and the mechanics have all been there as well. So Fnatic still holding on to this 1,400 gold lead. We'll wait for the next big play here. IG certainly not out, but they are down.
And I just really appreciate Broxah's decision making, because he knows that one of the ways this game gets worse is if Rookie explodes in a side lane. So they're giving up priority on the top side. Instead, they're looking to try and dive him. Time and time again, he is just putting pressure on the key members of the IG lineup.
Yeah, doing a very, very good job with that, but IG may think they have Bwipo caught out here. We'll see if they actually go for the play.
Oh, they seal away the Gromp. They're going to have a chain stun. Here comes Ning as well. Over the wall, he goes to the flash. That's an easy chase in for the rest of the squad. This 3v1 is going nowhere for Bwipo. A knockup, but there is the kill. Duke on the board with his second, already the 20 CS lead. IG close the gap to 500, and with this turret, it will be tied.
And that's a nice play. They catch the weak side of the map. Bwipo thinks he's done the right thing by backing into the jungle, but hadn't gone far enough away. Also might mean the Rift Herald. 10 seconds, and there is a teleport available. Could still be a risky play.
Yeah, the gold is dead even now. We'll see if they want to start it up. Rookie is starting to move up towards that side of the map. Duke has his TP, but as you said, Bwipo coming up has teleport available.
Wait to see if he channels. That will tell you from Fnatic really want to fight this one. Oh, he gets the kick on. Ning pops a stopwatch, and that is Broxah dying in the face of 2. Another kill on the board for JackeyLove as the team rejoins, but it's 5v4, favor of Invictus. The jump forward, they find the root, they get the stun. Can they kill him before the Ornn ultimate? And he gets a knockup. What's the re-engage look like as Caps comes in? Rekkles gets an answer, but look at this as Duke is burning down, tries to heal. Caps is not going to get that one any farther as he gets that knockdown rather, and the Herald will go over to Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic gonna come out on top with the Rift Herald on top of that as well, but some shutdowns going over to IG. And this game is neck and neck.
Once again, they go for the play. You know, you see Broxah and he's like, I can see another montage moment. Instead, he gets blown up and taken down, which is a great response out of IG. But the fact that he put Ning in the middle of the fight bought a little bit more time. Missed the ultimate there as well. And I think, Freak, that you had the right call here. If they had have killed Bwipo before he got the knockup, it looked like a good fight. But he got 3 members as he died. The base damage is still super high for the tank, and it allowed the rest of the Fnatic lineup to clean up.
Yeah, it gave time for Caps to arrive. He had just come off of a bye. He gets into the fight, picks up a shutdown, which is going to be so nice for him in this game. Was behind Rookie, but now certainly starting to catch up.
Yeah, I gotta say the support that Caps got throughout this game allowed him to catch up in CS. At one point it was like 18 to 31, it was double most of the time. And now again, what had been happening all game was Rookie jumping in, but Rekkles will stay alive, and there's not gonna be the re-engage. Rookie kites away, but you can see how explosive this LeBlanc can still be.
Yeah, definitely the case, but a nice sidestep on the chains from Rekkles, and it ends up being the trade of flashes there. So we'll have to see if either team can capitalize on those summoners being down for these really key members. Rekkles, he's already on his 2 items. He is at a very strong point in the game for the Ezreal. Likewise, Rookie has been the catalyst for a lot of the positive plays here from IG.
Oh, they're gonna find it again. Now Hylissang able to kite away, but half HP. And this will be a quick ceasefire now again in the mid lane. 300 gold. Puts Fnatic ahead. We'll wait to see what the next big play is. The Drake is up. Cloud this time around. Invictus can tie the Drake score. It looks like Fnatic are not willing to fight for this one. Cloud Drake's pretty low priority in pro play. And no problems there. 25 gold to JackeyLove.
And I think that IG just wanted to turn the Drake over. They wanted to see, can we top deck an Infernal off the back end of it? Can we try and equalize? Because right now we feel pretty good with where Duke is at in this game. However, earlier spikes for the Ezreal. He's sitting right now at probably 40% cooldown reduction with his rune choice as well. And just has the mobility around these fights. We've seen how dangerous Ezreals can be. 3-0 and 5. Rekkles once again having a fantastic performance.
Yeah, he really has been. And finally, as you pointed out, Duke is doing very well himself, right? He is already on his Triforce Tiamat, sitting at 3-1-1, farming very well on the top side. So there is a lot of dive and threat onto this backline here. Rekkles certainly has the mobility to escape a lot of the initiation, but we'll see if he can make it happen, because if you mess up once and you got caught by a Gragas engage, the Irelia, the LeBlanc, everyone piling onto you, can mean you go down very quickly.
And they have this mid lane actually in a fantastic position right now because they've stopped the recall. They're going to get the teleport out, but they call in the Ornn.
They're going to find this knockup towards JackeyLove, a trade for the ultimate now. Leona ult, I think he was expecting some kind of hard engagement. The knockback in towards Rekkles. Can they knock him down? And they will, but it could be a trade of bot laners as JackeyLove is assassinated by Caps. The turret's still alive, still can fire towards his champions as Caps jumps the wall. But Rookie is here, look for the blast cone, gets over though, and there's not going to be the chase. Caps flashes and gets away from the tether. ID looking forward.
Want the chase here. You can see still aggressing forward, and that is just a 1-for-1 trade. But Rekkles was the shutdown on the back end of that.
Yeah, and you see if he gets caught for 1 second, they can burst him out, and they're going to take the turret off of the back of this. So certainly a good fight there for IG.
And it's once again Invictus tying the gold in this game. JackeyLove is on 2 items now and beginning towards that next one. Caps, the split push might come close to answering the turret. Depends how well Rookie does here. What this fight looks like. Equal level on these players. The minions are gone, and Caps actually not going to be rooted up. It was the snap back for Rookie.
Yeah, he landed the chains. I think he thought it missed in saying that Broxah once again is just sitting in that brush. So maybe Rookie just with the sixth sense saying he's been there so much of the game, he's probably there now.
Yeah, he would be right on that. Broxah's still certainly sitting behind him, and he's giving the respect that he could be there. So Rookie, I think, is kind of checking that box, playing a lot more intelligently around where the pressure could be coming from Fnatic. But here it is one more time. You see they decide to make the call to go for Rekkles as the ultimate misses from Baolan, but nice ultimate there from Ning.
And I mean, that was a little bit unlucky from Rekkles because he drew Torre aggro at the same time with a Q. However, really got to respect the dive on the backline that Fnatic has. You can see they aggress forward and Caps just flies in, picks up the kill, darts back out. There's just so many threats. These are both, you know, very low tank lineups, and I think both of the aggression is starting to kind of play on the minds of the players.
It really is, and you know, you have to say these kills going the way of Caps has been so helpful for them because he had to start with such a defensive build from so far behind, and now he has been able to get the goal to get an Oblivion Orb and the Spell.
Looking at the re-engage indeed. The stun's going to land on the front line. Explosive cast, but they cannot quite kill Rekkles. Instead, it's Baolan who falls and Ning's at 5 HP. Rookie drops as well. 3 for 0 Fnatic. Duke's got to make it all happen himself. Does he have the damage?
Oh
Get
my
the
God!
double trades. Duke is huge. Shows why he's a world champion and walks right back out.
He pulls the victory out of the jaws of defeat there. It looked like that was going to be potentially an ace.
You can see JackeyLove trying to kite back.
Yeah, it's still 3v2. Fnatic have the crowd control. Bwipo finally rooted up, but he's still walking forward for the slow, but the stun might disengage still. Fnatic go +1, but as you mentioned, Duke pulling back those 2 kills stopped Baron.
Still a good fight from Fnatic, but as you say, that would have been Baron. That would have been the straw that broke the camel's back. And look at the start of this fight. Duke is still so far away, but IG decided to go for the play. Very preemptive from Baolan.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can see that they flash over the wall as well. It just looks like on different pages.
Yeah.
Caps' threat on the back line cannot be understated in this game. And given the fact that he went double MR items early, was very good.
And look at the use of the resets. Gets double stun, uses both resets, then ultimates to get double resets again, then flashes in range to get the Q onto Rekkles. That was insane from Duke.
Triple stun on the way out as well. Otherwise, they were right on his heels.
Insane.
Everything he could have done in that fight, he pretty much did, and it still wasn't enough for IG to get a positive result.
Well, that you kind of have to put on the initial engage, right? They're diving on. Baolan's looking for Rekkles, but Rookie is not there to follow up. Duke has not even entered the fight yet. That needs to be there when your solo laners can follow up, and Baolan needs to make sure he's on point with the engages.
And Rookie just can't blow up Caps anymore. He's got a Hex Drinker, he's got Merc Treads. He's fine in these fights. You have a look at the top lane. Bwipo right now has himself a wall mogs. He's got 30% cooldown reduction. He's fine as well. So it really is just Rekkles that is the priority target. And he's just so slippery.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, you can look to Broxah as well, perhaps try to take him or Hylissang down, but those are not the priority targets you really want to be committing to. So IG going to have to execute very, very well in these fights, but JackeyLove, the good news for them is that he is getting close to this IE. He is getting to this stage where the crit scaling becomes very, very relevant.
And it would allow IG to play a more standard team fight where they don't have to dive. Certainly with Irelia and LeBlanc and a bit of ability power, including Sork Shoes on Ning, you can reach backline. Rekkles, of course, safe TPing back in, and that is Ruin King done. So third item, spiked first for the Fnatic bot laner. Infernal is now alive. The next team fight about to start. Baolan a bit late to the party, walking down from that top jungle. Will be here in time. That was Fnatic going slowly for this one.
Yeah, and this time Duke is here, but the bot lane is split off from IG, and Fnatic look like they're just going to try to rush it down.
And the Ornn ult just to zone them away. This will be a clean pickup on the red. And now the fight starts. Duke is low. Ult comes across. Cannot reset. 1 for 0 Fnatic, and the answering damage is not here. Caps goes in for another 3 kills for Fnatic.
And Fnatic is absolutely popping off right now. You can see individual outplays across the board, and now they might look at the Baron.
They're the ones turning up the pace, and IG just can't keep up right now. That's a second Infernal. That's 3 more kills, and they're going to get the Baron.
This is looking good for them. IG only have the dual lane to stop them. This seems so unlikely. Hylissang can find the engage, Rekkles can find the damage, and IG says, you know what, you're right. We don't have a chance here. And at 25 minutes, from a 3,000 gold lead. Fnatic pick up Baron.
And in game number 1, Fnatic says, we will beat you around the map. In game number 2, they just say we'll beat you.
They're just straight up out team fighting them, and IG looking pretty out of sorts. They're posturing so aggressively. Look where JackeyLove is on the map. JackeyLove and Baolan are not anywhere close. There is no chance that IG can win this team fight, and they're straight on to Duke. Duke is basically dead before JackeyLove has even gotten an auto attack off, and this is just so much better team play, much better team fighting from Fnatic. As you said, individual outplays across the map as Caps chasing down and taking out Rookie, and this gold lead is getting very big.
5,000 gold, Baron buff for 3 minutes, double Infernal. This could be the push that ends the game if all goes right. Fnatic are certainly getting mid lane tier 2. The question is, when do they stop? When does ID threaten them? The Ornn gets the knockup, but only on the Duke. Irelia, not your ideal target yet. Still waiting on the IE for JackeyLove. That might temper this a little bit, but it's not here yet.
And they already just grabbed the Baron and just pushed straight down mid lane. Now they have the capability of sending Caps towards the side lane or just doing the same thing top. Right now, Fnatic have all the options open to them, and IG backs against the wall.
They really do have all the options, as you say, and it feels like IG needs to find some sort of a flank. They need to have someone starting behind the fight. You cannot see a fight in which Rookie and Duke are able to run straight through Broxah and Bwipo and Caps and everyone to get to Rekkles, and that is the situation that Fnatic is trying to force them into. They're trying to make them group up and come straight at them.
And in this situation, you're going to have 2 teams trying to dive Caps. Don't go in there.
They can look for the chain, not going to find that though. Caps disengages. That could have been an opening. If you can explosive cast him out of the shroud, that could have been a kill, but it's not there. IG may have to give up more of this one as this turret is injured. And they've got the buff, they've got another turret. Fnatic on 5 now.
The experience leads are getting enormous as well. 2 levels for Rekkles, 2 levels for Caps. Bwipo is up a level, Broxah is up a level, and there's so much extra power in even just the experience beyond the double Infernal, beyond the gold.
And not only that, just at this stage of the game, the team fight is just much easier to execute upon. You've got the true shroud down in the back line. JackeyLove can't approach. He's not an Ezreal. He doesn't have, you know, the 3-second arcane shift at this stage of the game. You've got Caps, who's just much better at diving right now than Rookie, given how squishy Rookie is. Now has to go back and get a stopwatch. And then just meatball tank in the top lane versus jungle. The top lane tank always eventually comes out ahead. So it has to be, you know, an aggressive flank. It has to be the use of the teleports, but they just have no tools to be able to get in behind the Fnatic lineup.
Look at Fnatic's vision. They are doing their due diligence. They're clearing out all the wards. IG has no vision on the map whatsoever. You see, as they were pushing top lane, they dropped multiple pigs to cover that. Now they're sweeping out and clearing out the wards on the bottom side of the map, trying to make sure that IG can't get anything done.
Threat towards Caps, but gets away from the stun, means no engage. They're not going to go for that one much anymore. Bot lane now being sieged up. And look how far up Fnatic gets to play. They are playing without fear. There is so little threat on them.
Oh!
Can try. He's injured. Ignite is on. Can there be the re-engage, though? They're going to try to defend him now. The Ornn comes up, and he misses. Caps, oh, and he's not going to be ulted. Duke can't land it, and bot lane was already under fire. Another turret falls.
Caps versus Rookie is not even close at this point. Rookie goes in, hits all his skills, looks for the trade, and just about dies straight up to Caps there. Caps is doing so much damage and really not threatened at all in the 1v1 at this point, and could have even been a kill had Bwipo been able to connect with the ultimate.
Yeah, now level 16 as well, so just able to toy with the mid laner of Invictus, able to drag him around the map. Rekkles now a full item ahead of his counterpart. Just everywhere they're winning out, and it's becoming alarm bell. Because I don't know, as this map gets smaller, whether IG gets more choices. Normally when you get pushed in your base, you can look to make a last stand, but just front to back is not the way they want to do this.
No, it's not at all. And Fnatic are going to get the best dragon spawn for themselves as well. Another Infernal coming out on the map, which IG may feel pressured to try to contest for. That third Infernal going to be even more damage.
I think it'd be the wrong choice to try, though. They are almost assuredly losing a fight in the river here with this 8,000 gold deficit. Just give up that 8% more stats. I think it's the best chance to win is hole up in your base and wait for the gold to come to you. But Fnatic playing for ward control, playing to look for that last fight that might close them the game and win their group stage 6-1 after the tiebreaker. Europe has never lost a tiebreaker at Worlds. Fnatic looking to extend that legacy and pull a top seed into the quarterfinals.
And you made the call, Freak. They have to give it up. They realize that they don't have the vision. They don't have the items to look for the team fights. And it's going to be Fnatic with triple Infernal and a massive gold lead. It's hard to see a world in which they lose from here.
And even though there's a crit 80 carry on the other team, I don't think this is a situation where you're like, we're getting outscaled. It's just going to be such an easier time for Rekkles in these team fights. And you just have a Rakan Ornn engage while they're trapped in the base. You know, they can wait the minute. They can allow the next Baron to come up and available. And Invictus, you know, don't have the easy play to make.
Yeah, I mean, for IG, it has to be the outplay. It has to be the incredible engage where you kill someone right off the bat, where you catch Rekkles. But with the QSS there, it gets harder and harder and harder. And he's really the only target that it seems there isn't even a chance of killing off that fast when you think of the Hex Drinker on caps, the Shroud, the Stopwatch, everything there to keep him alive.
So the climactic moment comes in about 1 minute. Baron spawns in 43 seconds, and Fnatic are crossing their T's, dotting their I's, and making sure they've got the vision control to make a free Baron pickup into a game-ending push. 31:30 on the map, 30 seconds till Baron spawns, and they're just making sure this jungle belongs to them, the river belongs to them, and then the game will follow right afterwards like so many dominoes. Invictus Gaming, when do you choose your risky play? No matter what you do, it's risky to come back in. Do you fight for Baron? Do you fight for a ward? Or do you sit in your base? They've got to choose. Right now, they've been spotted. Bwipo is going to call the Ornn now because they chose to fight in the jungle. They found the first engage, and Duke is low but walks away. Baolan the first to fall, make it a second as the top laner is dead, and JackeyLove has to run. The Caps buys time. Rookie next to the chopping block. Caps might fall, the shields are on, and he will survive the ignite. So 5v3, the fight continues. Rekkles gets away, and no one yet dies. Fnatic hold 5 strong.
And that was probably the best team fight that IG could get. They kept Duke alive for the longest time, and then they were underneath the turret, but the tanks are too strong. Fnatic still win, and they're going to get themselves the Baron.
JackeyLove so close to perhaps turning that one around, but not able to do it, and it's looking like it will be Fnatic's Baron, but Ning, JackeyLove, they're closing in. They're looking for any potential miracle steal, but it's not to be.
Ning has 5 health here. Getting a steal would be almost impossible. Cursory damage would kill him. Rookie might try, he spots it, knows the health bar is too low. Ning cannot grab this. And it will be the quick reset. One more time, just fill in the punctuation, make sure your penmanship is ready. Fnatic just here to sign this one over. This is certainly their game.
And this is why lane wards are so important. They see them approach it, and then Ornn's ultimate is such a crucial late game tool. Hilly flies in for the follow-up, and after this point, it looked okay. You can see Duke kiting away, has to get the ultimate out of Caps, and they fight the rest of it underneath the turret, but they just don't have the damage.
Yeah, JackeyLove so close to getting so many of these kills, but not quite able to do it. Caps getting out with so little HP. And then look at Bwipo tanking the turret for his team so they can potentially get something done. Hylissang gets out low. You know, see Broxah get out low. They all are walking out, and if JackeyLove weren't so far behind, perhaps he could have turned it, but he is, and Fnatic are closing in on shutting this game out.
Surely this is theirs. 11,000 gold lead for the EULCS #1. A knock-up on 2 backliners. The first kill, not yet. That was a clone. And IG will simply give up their 2 inhibitors. Mid lane and bot lane will fall, but there's still plenty of resources for Fnatic to use. Waiting just to close this one out, to do what many thought was impossible and knock down IG in this group.
But they don't even have to fight. They can just recall, they can go do the same thing top lane, and they can close this one out tutorial style. Love the patience shown by Fnatic. This is the biggest game they will play in the group stages. This secures them first seed. Do not give anything back to the LPL squad.
The only glimmer of hope for IG, perhaps, that the QSS was used by Rekkles in that bottom lane. The fact that it is down means maybe, just maybe, with a perfect engage, you could take down that AD carry. But Fnatic, as you say, checking all the boxes, playing so safe, so smart. They may even wait until it is back up.
It is purely the smallest of margins. Zhonya is on cooldown for Caps because he's already used up the stopwatch there and has not replaced it. But these are tiny. These are 1 in a million. Invictus are so unlikely. They just hope they have that one chance, that unlikely play that catches them back up. But here comes the last lane to fall. 35 minutes in. Baron still on for a minute. Triple Infernal and a 12,000 gold lead. Fnatic have one last lane to push until the Nexus is theirs. Rookie finds some poke. Bwipo pops the ult. They're going for the dive. A double knock up there, but JackeyLove kites away. They don't get a whole lot. Invictus, and none of the health bars are yet low, but Caps is fine in the front line, gets the shield, and now it's time for the turret to fall as Baolan drops as well. 5v4. Only the Nexus has defense itself as Duke pops the stopwatch, but he's sure to go down. The knockup and a double kill for Caps. The kickback for Broxah. Make it 3 and a 5 versus 1. JackeyLove versus the world, and he simply cannot do it. And Fnatic will foul Invictus. They will take the #1 seed into the quarterfinal.
The incredible second day here for Fnatic. They run the gauntlet. They take down IG not once, but twice. And they end the game in emphatic fashion. The fountain dive and the triple kill for Caps.
There is not a lot more you can ask of Fnatic in this year. Back-to-back EULCS champions. They fought a team that was 1 game away from winning the LPL title. This seemed to be the year of China. All 3 of their teams made it out of the group stage. RNG, MSI champions. IG looked as good as them throughout much of the season, and Fnatic proves they are better.
And the style in which they did it. The willingness to out-team fight the LPL lineup. The ability to play patient League of Legends. Honestly, that was such an impressive way to close out this group. And at the start of the day, it was, how good is Fnatic? Are they a quarterfinal team? Are they a top 4? Well, they've gone a long way to answer that question in today's matches.
They definitely have, and they've gone a long way to secure themselves a better matchup for the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Guaranteeing they will not play KT, they will not play Afrika, they will not play RNG. And you have to say, after a performance like today, you really start to believe that they are favored in any of the quarterfinal matchups they could draw.
Because there was no liability today. Hylissang was playing great League of Legends. Broxah was honestly world-class in his jungle performances. Everyone lifted their play together and they played as a team.
I think Europe peaked so well at this tournament overall. Obviously, Fnatic and G2 making it out of the group. Fnatic is #1. Vitality, though they didn't make it, impressed as well. This seems like a great breakout tournament for the EULCS. I'm excited to see what Fnatic will do. Of course, the group draw will coming up soon, but to break down the day and take us through the knockout draw, it's time to send it off for World's Cooldown.
Thank you very much, Freak. Welcome to World's Cooldown, where IG and Fnatic just gave us the greatest finish to the best group stage in the history of the World Championship.
Woo!
Both teams, I'm saying it.
I agree.
I am
the
saying
best
it.
of 5.
Both teams took the gloves off for this one and absolutely went at it until Fnatic gets the KO.
I don't know, Dash. That sounds like you're saying that, you know, like Invictus Gaming were like throwing a couple hits back.
They definitely threw punches
I don't
back.
know. The game I was watching, Broxah just like took off the glove and just like slapped Ning across the face
He was
multiple times.
Definitely a difference maker. But let's be honest. I mean, the way that mid lane was going on the outset in favor of Rookie, Fnatic had to make moves like that to get back into the game.
Yes, and I think that's actually the greatest thing about this matchup between these two teams is that you have advantages different places. Rookie's laning phase is definitely better than Caps' laning phase, but then you have Broxah, who is better than Ning in the jungle, and he's making plays like this in the early game around the bot lane.
And I thought the team compositions these teams chose were just both so mechanically difficult and fun to watch. You had to make so many individual outplays, and in laning phase, Rookie did that for a lot of it, and that's why this game was neck and neck up until about 20 minutes.
And that's the second awesome thing about this. Normally when you have like a 40-minute game, you do a highlight reel, and that was sick by the way. You have a 40-minute game, highlight reel is about 5 minutes long. For this game, I think the highlight reel is like the entire game, basically. We had so many big plays between all 10 players, 9 players. Baolan missed everything. Also, we got this one from Bwipo.
That's my jungler. Oh no. The thing is that there's such a high level of talent in this game. And the fact is that they're able to create so many opportunities that so many teams don't even realize exist. Like, as an audience member, you're like, I didn't even know they could do that. I didn't know you could make that play. The Baron calls, though, in particular for Fnatic. I wish we had a lot of the clips of the Baron plays, because their Baron plays in both games were beautifully executed and set up. So it wasn't just about the mechanical outplays, but I was so impressed by the macro performance and the shot calling from Fnatic.
I want to watch
We
more
waited.
of it.
We
I
waited
want to
the
watch
whole
more
day.
of it.
We waited the whole day for this. We watched the 5 setup games for the final 2 right at the end.
Yeah, we get
Hashtag
those.
worth it?
Oh,
I think so.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely worth it. As of now, we're awaiting, the preparation of the knockout stage draw, but we already heard the casters themselves hypothesizing a little bit about it. The strength of Fnatic as a 1 seed here up against any of the 2 seeds will quite obviously be favored in that matchup.
Of course, I think people will look at EDG and say, okay, EDG versus Fnatic, should Fnatic be scared? No.
Knock them down.
IG are way better than EDG already, and they just took down IG 2 games in a row here. So Fnatic's style is really good in the current meta because there is so many aggressive picks you can go for.
Let's get a little review of the 8 teams moving on to the next stage. In Group A, FLICKR Freaks and G2 earned their spots in the quarterfinals. Group B had back-and-forth matches where Royal Never Give Up and Cloud9 came out ahead. Group C went the way of KT Rolster and Edward Gaming. And finally, today's champions, Fnatic and Invictus Gaming, will be representing Group D. So we have 2 Korean teams, 3 LPL teams, 2 European LCS teams, and 1 North American team making it through.
Yeah, and 2 Korean first seeds with 1 EU first seed and 1 LPL first seed. And it's interesting to note, Fnatic could not meet Invictus Gaming again until the finals if it were to happen.
Exactly.
So the number 2 seeds they can play against are EU, NA, or LPL.
Yeah, we've got 3 LPL teams through, which is cool. So it's the most represented region. But as you mentioned, 2 of the 1 seeds are held by Korea. And so funny to think back
They're still
on the
hanging
beginning days of the
around.
tournament, when we were like, oh no, KR really in trouble here.
Right.
Well, they still have 2 teams that get that first seed and an ideal matchup, I'd say, based on the fact that they'll be paired up against
It
the
is
2.
true, but I feel like this is the first year where you look at one of the Korean first seeds and you actually say out of the 4 teams that are first seeds, you probably want them the most. Like if you are second seed, drawing a FLICKR is most likely the best thing you can do. Fnatic would then come in second based on just the history and the skill also on KT and RNG.
But what I'm really curious about is where you guys would stack rank Fnatic now. So we were pretty split on KT, RNG as like our first 2 seeds. And then I feel like everyone's confidently going to say, okay, kick Edward Gaming down. Fnatic at least 3rd.
I put him 3rd.
Yeah.
Would you put them any higher?
It may be based on the recency, but I think it's 3rd. I think RNG and KT did enough for the pre-tournament preconceptions to still be there, but Fnatic played so well.
So KT, RNG, Fnatic now in 3rd. Does IG slot in right behind them in that 4 position and just shove the rest of the standings down? Or does the 2 losses today actually against Fnatic give you a little bit more concern for those best of 5?
The thing is that I think a lot of people will look at Invictus Gaming from the lens of just this tournament, and so they say, okay, we have 1 game on record of JackeyLove, Baolan, and Ning having a very off game. Maybe you can say Ning for 2 games, the 2 recent games against Fnatic, but for LPL fans, if you extend that timeline, you know that Baolan, Ning, and JackeyLove have underperformed the entire summer split, and in very critical moments for JackeyLove. JackeyLove had a decent summer, but he was never able to step up in high-pressure situations. So I think from that lens, I wouldn't immediately slot IG, because I look at that game from IG, I'm like, okay, it's back to reality. We're no longer overperforming expectations. Now we're playing Invictus Gaming level.
I would like to change underperforming to inconsistent performances for these guys. Like, Ning has had a lot of games where it is the 10-0 Ning that we are praising, and then we've also had the next game where he became the 0-10 Ning. I think Baolan's performance was actually the worst out of the IG players, mainly because he got put on the Leona, which was supposed to be the pick into the Rakan, and he didn't perform.
Well, there you hear it, ladies and gentlemen, the group stage, or rather knockout stage draw about to start. So as it is, let me give you a quick reminder on the rules of the group draw. The number 1 seeds will be drawn first. All first seeds will play a second seed. The one important thing to note here is that teams from the same group may not be on the same side of the bracket. Not just in the same matchup, on the same side of the bracket. Don't worry, we'll break it down for you as the names are pulled. So first up, our number 1 seed.
I'm so excited for this.
It's like Christmas.
I mean,
Watch
We have a 50-50 basically.
Pulling the names for us.
So this means that G2 cannot be on the same side of the bracket as a FLICKR.
That is correct.
Yeah. 50% chance that RNG and KT.
There will be a little bit of waiting period here, as
different side
obviously we only have
bracket.
one team loaded up, so no matchups determined just yet.
Yeah, but we will get to find out if KT and RNG are on different sides of the bracket. Do we know if the next poll goes top right or bottom left?
Bottom left. Top
So-
left, bottom left,
Okay.
top right, bottom right.
If you get KT RNG
please,
now,
please, 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 please.
you can get that final.
I think it's orange. Oh
It's-
no!
Who is it? Who is it?
What's it gonna be?
It's
It's
Fnatic!
Fnatic.
Oh my goodness!
All right. So Fnatic to the bottom left of the bracket.
Listen, this is the best thing ever for Fnatic.
Interesting.
This
This
means
is the best thing for
Fnatic
Fnatic.
you can take finals in this
exactly.
They
You
can.
can take
They
Fnatic
can.
to the finals here because KT and RNG, at best, if they win, that means they meet in the semifinals.
Exactly. Now, if Fnatic
Wow.
win and FLICKR win, they will face each other in the semifinal.
Yep.
And their chances of the teams that they'll face will either be Cloud9 or Edward Gaming.
Watch drawing our next one seed. It looks like it will be RNG going to the top right. MLXG, the representative of RNG on stage. We do have a player from each team. We have Keen representing a Freak of Freaks, as I mentioned, MLXG. Smeb, the representative for KT, and Mako for EDG. G2's Wadid, C9's Blabber, IG's Rookie, and Fnatic's Rekkles. Just to confirm, this is KT, so there you
Coming
have
into
it.
this tournament, we were all saying we hope RNG and KT will be on opposite sides. That is like the dream final before the tournament started.
That wasn't Fnatic's dream.
Fnatic's dream.
Yeah, I was going to say, from a viewer's perspective,
This is the best thing for Fnatic ever.
I don't
Yes.
know about you, but I almost have confidence that in a best of 5, Fnatic take KT or RNG all the way in that form.
so here's where things get interesting. The two seeds will be drawn. Watch polling the first. Let's see where they head.
All right, what are the matchups? So this goes top left.
Cloud9, they
right
will
away.
slot in up against a Freak of Freaks.
You know what?
Are you ready for
Cloud9,
That is a fantastic
That's
draw.
it's about as good as you can hope for. That's
You're either
that's
hoping a
great.
Freak or
That's as
Fnatic.
good as you
Either
can
way,
hope
you
for.
ended up on the same
With
side
how
of the
Fnatic
bracket.
looked today, I thought maybe with the EU versus anything you'd want it, but with watching Fnatic, I think this is what's seen.
That's an NAEU semi,
We have
possibly.
2 Western teams now on the left side. G2 cannot be on the same side
Yep.
as the FLICKR, so they have to go to the right side.
It's
The LPL.
Fnatic Edward Gaming, isn't it?
If
Yes,
EDG
it
doesn't get
is.
pulled here,
Here we go.
there's so much sadness in the LPL because that would mean. Or no.
2015,
Wait, yes.
flashing before my eyes right now.
EDG has to go against Fnatic.
All right, the second 2 seed to be pulled here.
They don't. You're right.
The anticipation is so great. G2.
G2 RNG.
Again, they will slot into the right side of the bracket because they cannot go to the same side as a Freak of Freaks.
And I just want to point out that Jonan in an interview said if they get RNG, he's confident his Heimerdinger can beat Uzi.
But when it comes to the rest of the 80 carries, not so sure. Sharing a handshake up there on stage would need an MLXG. We've got 2 more matchups.
Yep, this is always the part that fools me often and a lot of the viewers. It's because the people in the same group can't be on the same side of the bracket. Is again why G2 jumped to RNG instead of playing against Fnatic.
The 2015 rematch.
EDG.
Fnatic 3.
They're going to be heading over to Fnatic's side.
Or was it 2016? I try to forget a lot of
2015
those
World
years.
Championship. That's when Fnatic made it to the semifinals along with Origin.
Which means it's Invictus Gaming
Against
versus
KT.
KT.
Oh, man.
We will confirm that with the draw here. We must do our due diligence. But if all goes right, that is an IG, and our bracket is locked with that.
The reunion for Rookie here.
Rookie and Smeb.
Former KT Arrow, now, excuse me, Bullet, now gets to face the KT squad.
All right. We have our matchups. I'm staring across the desk. We're not on camera right now. I see some.
We got some.
I see faces that are struggling to comprehend and grasp the complexities of this, and I already see people charting paths to finals for their regional teams. I mean, I think if you're a Western fan, in particular of Fnatic or C9, you are over the moon with the draws that they got and
Yes.
the possibility of a run to a finals, let alone a semi.
I mean, I know it sucks to draw a Korean first seed, but FLICKR, as we said before, did not look that strong in the group stages. C9 had a lot of surprises, a lot of surprise picks. Very interesting play style. They will be facing them. I think it's C9's best chance of knocking out a first seed as well.
I mean, just think about the way LickRish played in the group stage. Like, you think he could match up with Keen, and the FLICKR was controlling the map, but getting slow incremental advantages for Keen. If C9 has counter picks ready for that stuff, you can see FLICKR having a lot of trouble with C9.
That's the thing. FLICKR are known for their draft, their preparation, their discipline, and they're against Cloud9, the team who's pulled out so many different pocket picks to try to throw a wrench in all of that. And we don't know if maybe they revealed their entire hand, if they still have some gas left in the tank there. I think this might be super tricky for FLICKR if Cloud9 have more trump cards.
Oh yeah, Champion Select is going to be a joy to watch in that best of 5. Thinking about the Fnatic and EDG matchup as well, though. I mean, Fnatic just took down IG, you know, the higher seed from the same region as EDG. So I think that alone would instill some confidence before we even begin talking about play styles and strategic matchup.
And how
100%.
important was that? Because if they wouldn't have won that last game, they wouldn't be playing KT.
To win. That's tiebreaker. This is so good. Like, for Fnatic, I think you were looking at all the second seeds, and you couldn't play IG again. Obviously, you looked at the other 3 and said, fair enough, EDG might be the strongest on paper out of the 3, but they're not that scary when you just took down IG. And after you saw FLICKR, you knew G2 could not be on your side, so the Fnatic G2 could not happen. And that's why you are just actually happy that you get a FLICKR. And then you don't actually care what second seed you get, as long as the FLICKR is on your side compared to KT or RNG when it comes to making a final.
But what's the Edward Gaming perspective here? Are they happy with this draw as well? Because they're avoiding the likes of RNG, KT, and whatnot.
I mean, I guarantee that they're chuckling about it because it is Fnatic. I know that Fnatic, at least from a Chinese fan's perspective, it is quite funny when they meet Fnatic just because of the history that that team has specifically against LPL teams. But you're correct. You just have to flip it the other way and you say, okay, yeah, EDG drew Fnatic. They look terrifying right now. But ultimately, then you're still looking at FLICKR as the LCK seed, and you do dodge KT and RNG as the tournament, you know, pre-tournament favorites, if you will. So I think this looks disastrous for Edward Gaming, but if they're on the other side, that looks just as bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Which brings us to that very scary right-hand side of the bracket, if we still consider RNG and KT to be the favorites. G2. Now, this was one of the teams, one of the surprises of the tournament, though. This is a team that, from the play-ins, struggled to start and has slowly ramped their way into it. Impressed us up to this point.
Yes, and it's rough if you are G2 with RNG on your side. However, I do want to highlight that RNG solo laners this tournament have not been that scary, and G2's way of playing is very based around Wonder and Perks, specifically getting advantages in the early game and becoming a split push team, which is a potential answer to one of the best team fighting teams in the world. That's all I can say regarding good things in this matchup. I'm not going to call G2 favorites by any means.
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be some concerns about the lopsidedness of that matchup. You know, if you do consider that the attention for G2 will be around the solo lanes for RNG, the bot lane is always where we're looking. And while Hjarnan may be confident in the Heimer versus anything Uzi matchup, beyond that point, when the Heimer hits the ban table, I'm not so sure about how well they'll fare against the likes of Uzi and Ming.
I mean, the fact of the matter is that RNG had to bring MLXG and Karsa, though, so they don't have Zatai up into that top lane. And when they have played as a 1-3-1 team, they usually do it with Zatai up there. Just to echo Deficio, Letme's not having a great tournament. So you could have a possibility where maybe you just make, you sack bot lane, you just try to make the map super, or split the map, like Wonder goes ham up top, and you just say, Hjarnan, Wadded, hang on down there, we'll be there in like 25 minutes.
Yeah, and I think we do have to remind ourselves that RNG was pre-tournament favorite or top 2 for most people. You were expecting them to make a run to the finals until there's KT. Like, that side of the bracket looks so much to me like an RNG KT semifinal.
I mean, that should be the big one. Last thing on G2, I think they're happier to draw RNG compared to KT for the reasons we just highlighted right there.
All right, well, let's talk about our final best of 5 here in KT versus IG. Again, the best-looking Korean team here with the 1 seed. Whenever we get to those best of 5s, we always index a little bit more heavily into the strength of the Korean region, their experience, the veteranship, the coaching, and the organizational structure behind them. how do we feel IG's going to pair up against them, especially considering they had the downtick on their exit of the group stage?
I mean, the thing is I called Invictus Gaming budget KT at Rift Rivals. They play in a very similar fashion in terms of that they try to carry from every single lane, but they just don't have the consistency to do so. When they did run into KT, they basically bounced off them and fell flat onto their back. So they get another chance, but ultimately, KT, I think, are almost exactly the same as Invictus Gaming, but then have so much more on top of it.
Yeah, they're smarter than IG. IG will rely 100% on winning the early game. They failed to do that against Fnatic in the 2 games we just watched.
Yeah.
And that's why this matchup specifically, to me at least, is not great for IG, because the laners on KT's side are so scary.
I don't want to undersell IG, though. They went 18-1 in best-of-3s in both the spring and the summer split. Their only defeats were in Game 5s against RNG in the playoffs, whether it was semifinals or finals. They were extremely close, I feel like, to winning either the spring or the summer split if they had won those Game 5s. So even though KT, I agree, is, you think, stylistically a slightly better version of IG, KT's not happy with this draw.
Right.
KT, I think, would have rather
True.
had any of the other Pool 2s. So that is a stacked quarterfinal, in my opinion.
IG can go the distance, and they'll have to against KT if they want to pick up the victory. Frost?
I mean, the mentality is that if coming into this Invictus Gaming and Fnatic were like our dark horses, you have to go through KT anyway if you want to win the World Championship. Like, that was just the expected outcome, so you might as well do it in quarters. Maybe that's the
That's
silver
always the
lining.
thing you can look at.
Hey, look, you're going to have to beat them eventually if you want the title. I love that mentality. Well, you've heard our thoughts on how the groups, or rather the knockout stages, drew out. Shox is standing by with the Fnatic mid laner to get his thoughts on the upcoming quarterfinal.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm here with Caps. First reaction, happy with the draw, or?
I think so. I think it couldn't be a lot better. I think we were hoping for exactly what we were hoping for. Like, we wanted to play either C9 or EDG, and we got EDG, so we're really happy.
Yeah, so how do you think about that matchup versus EDG? Because they did look quite strong in their group phase, and of course you're going up against Scout, another very, very good mid laner.
So EDG have been looking really strong in their group, but I also feel like they weren't really challenged in the early game. I mean, KT showed that if you get ahead of them, then they don't really know what to do. And I feel like TL and Matt both didn't have the tools to get ahead. And I feel like we will be able to get a lead, and then we can solve from that.
So let's come back a little, because this was a crazy day. How did this compare to last year when you had to run to even be in the tournament, and now you make the run to first seed?
So last year we were, well, I would say it's pretty similar. Like, you can say both, like, one time we went 4-1, and this year we went 4-0 on this day. And both days we were pretty calm, because last year we felt like we were kind of out of the tournament already. And this year we were pretty confident because we were really in a really good spot. And as soon as we won against 100 Thieves, we were basically locked out of groups. So we were playing without nerves, really. And we were very calm, just like last year. Except for when we played against IG, obviously, because we really wanted to beat them. And yeah, it was some crazy games.
Yeah, it was crazy, but you guys actually came through phenomenally because you had to win 2 very rough games. What would you say is the atmosphere in this Fnatic compared to last year? Looks like everyone's just feeling comfortable, just going through the motions.
So I feel like as I said a lot of times, I feel like we become a much better team, and we play a lot better together. But I also feel like, and obviously winning a lot of games helps that. I feel like our confidence levels is really high as well. We still have the very talented individual players, and we see a lot of individual plays as well still being made. So I feel like we just have a very good spirit, and we allow team play, but we also allow individual play. So.
And then if you look at that bracket, it's time to start dreaming, but it is dangerous. Tell me your expectations. Can we see a Fnatic in a world final with this draw?
Well, as our goal the whole time has been winning the Worlds, right? And at the end of the day, we have to beat the second best team, basically, to win Worlds. And the draw is not going to change that. Maybe we will have an easier or harder road, but at the end of the day, we'll have to beat the second best team. And we are happy with the draw we have got, but we still have to make it all the way and then win that final.
Okay, well, yeah, I know. You got to temper a little bit. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Insane effort today. Caps, back over to you guys.
A happy Shox, a happy Caps. He's echoing the sentiment that they are going to have to beat the second best team in the world if they want to be the best team in the world, regardless of how easy the road is to getting to that finals. Man. Now, on the last day of groups, we had a handful of pros who stepped up and earned themselves MasterCard players of the game. They were Fnatic's Broxah, Invictus Gaming's Duke, Fnatic's Caps, Invictus Gaming's Rookie, 100 Thieves Onda, Fnatic's Hylissang, and the tiebreaker pog goes once again to Fnatic's Broxah. That guy had a stellar day.
Oh, he likes to play Lee Sin. That's for sure.
Woo! A lot of Fnatic players. They had, I feel like 5 wins today. The 3 regular ones, the tiebreaker, and the draw.
And the draw. There you go. Well, yeah. Who gets pog for that?
Watch gets
pog for
Great
that.
drawing right there.
Just spin me up a lower third real quick for a watch. Well, 8 days of games meant that you were absolutely blowing up Twitter with the big plays that solidified our teams competing in the quarterfinals. And while it took some work, we picked a few that we thought called for this week's Acer Big Plays. First up, iCrystallization celebrated EDG, learning from their past failures. Use Rakan, flank mid, kill everyone.
EDG want to come in from the side and make this play happen. There they go, seeing if maybe they can find some sort of a knockout. Bwipo's already grabbing the kill on to score. KT's in trouble. Yukao's going to go unstoppable, finding the kill on to Mako. Mata's going to be taken down next. KT's on the run. Smeth's trying to get himself out of this one. Yukao going to go into the stasis. There's no way out. It's the play that's killed him twice before at Worlds. And EDG, they turn it right back around.
Not gonna lie, I saw Edward Gaming in that game. I saw a mid-game flank. I was like, oh no, it's happening again. And then I was like, oh, we flanked.
Flashbacks, flashbacks, flashbacks. Next up, DZ Ma was blown away by iBoy's inhuman reactions as he dodged everything.
Red team going deep in the paint, and they chase EDG all the way back. Oh, he's not done yet. Boom! There goes the flash! Oh, boy! What was that? Now, he didn't have vision of Zoe, so I'm thinking the Ezreal ult actually ruined it because he saw the Ezreal ult.
He said after that he knew that Zoe would jump him. He knew the guy would be greedy. So he's like, he's just sitting ready, finger on the key, sees the little pop there, and then boom, flash to the side, takes him down.
40 chips.
Yeah, it's a reminder there's some pretty good players at this World Championship.
Yeah, like some sick mechanical plays.
Just because you're not seed 1 doesn't mean you don't have players like that.
Only the best at the World Championships. Finally, Mark Go Not summarized the lesson teams learned versus Vitality. Jizuke's Echo is clean.
Block off with just the turret. And now Jizuke, can he make the huge play? We've seen big comebacks here before. He shuts down one. Watch out for the ult. Now can C9 knock him down. Here comes Sion, and he finds the knockup.
I'm ulting on Noction here. I got the backline.
Zia no flash, Zia no flash, Zia no flash,
I
Zia
got
no
Shen
flash.
here. I got them all, yeah, I got them all. Go Zilan.
Let me that kill. Let me that kill.
Nice. Push me together into bot.
We can still win, guys. Don't give up.
Someone who was watching that game and not on broadcast, hoping C9 would get through, that Jizuke guy was terrifying. Like, you were wondering who was going to one-shot next. And that play was at a moment where it felt like C9 was in full control, and it brought it right back to even.
Yeah. You know, thinking about it, we had so many amazing plays. These are just 3 of them, right? I'm immediately jumping to the
That last game?
Yeah, exactly. Broxah, Dragon River with the kick into getting flash into the dragon and over the wall to safety. Can anyone think of another stellar big play?
Just
one that you would have
more
called
highlights. Rookie's lane phase where he was in the turret against Broxah. Actually had Broxah throw his Q over here as he went over here to finish off Caps. Like that game
insane.
itself could have made an entire big play segment.
Should we just roll that game back?
I think we should.
Yeah,
we
right?
definitely watch that
You
again.
got rebroadcast.
You got time, right? Oh yeah, rebroadcast coming up. Tune in for that.
Nicely done.
Topical. All right, as we head into the knockouts, please continue tweeting out the giant moments worthy of the Acer Big Play to @LOL Esports, rather. That's what it is. With the hashtag Worlds 2018. Now, we return Friday, October 19th with 2 best-of-5s to kick off quarterfinal weekend. KT versus IG and RNG versus G2. Worlds Countdown starts at 8:30 p.m. PST. That's 5:30 a.m. CEST. 2 best-of-5s back-to-back. They're marathon days, but I'm excited for them.
Absolutely, and I am actually really excited that we don't have to wait the normal, like, 4 or 5 days we would before quarterfinals. The schedule being so close, I don't want to wait for the quarter, so I'm happy that they're all happening so soon.
I'm with you there, man. I always hate the wait time doing Worlds. I just need the games right now. Why do you need prep time? Just play.
I mean, lack of prep time seriously made for some exciting games, right? With 2 days, we'll see what the teams can do moving into those best-of-5s, but that's going to do it for us here. So now for myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you Friday for more Worlds 2018.
sure IG and Fnatic, monster favorites in this group. Absolutely. But sometimes one game is all it takes to turn the tide.
Didn't follow it through. Here comes Broxah. First blood for Broxah's Lee Sin. Looking for another. The Rupture throws something into the air. In 3 versus 5. Fnatic are routing 100 Thieves. Rekkles finds another. The inhibitor turret goes down. And Fnatic are barreling through the base. That's a good start. Kenny may find the kill. Defensive flat. Rookie stays alive, but not for long. And on the torch, flashes forward into 3. Look at the Winds of War. They've already found Stitch. JackeyLove jumps into the backside, and it's Ning that gets himself a double kill.
I'm tanking. Tanking one more. I dropped aggro. Nice one.
Well, we're gonna find out. Koala finds a pretty decent engage with the knockup and the quickness, but unfortunately there's just not enough damage to follow it up.
Might try Realm Warp to separate, and is going to be on top of him. There's the damage output, and a 1v2 solo kill for Rookie. Looks for more under the turret, but somebody's going to find himself the slow. The giant knockup not going to be found. His bell to slip into the backside. The double kill for Rookie, and will it be more? Gets taunted, cleansed away, but it's going to be the kill as they knock down Koala, and that hook from downtown means 2 more kills for Ornn.
I got Gragas. Hey, I'm going for sure. Just kill Gragas, kill Gragas. I can heal you. Yeah, knock here. They're going down the ground. Wait. Let's go. Yeah. Go.
All right, my friends. I want you to understand that there is a chance that the top lane matchup will be volatile.
If you int, you int.
No, it's not about that.
We will not help you.
I'm just saying.
Started a kill, but Xayah is down here for Broxah.
He's gonna get 1, 2, 3. The 4th is gonna be for sure as Xayah gets a kill in mid. Beyond death by Baolan. They get a 2nd kill already. ID are gonna be wiped off of the map.
You beat the Xayah, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I didn't really, but hey.
Gragas has flash, no? I'll let you just use it. Nice.
Holy shit, nice one.
No flash.
No flash. Holy shit, Broxah.
Yeah, good job.
Broxah!
LeBlanc from
B for 0 Fnatic. Duke's gonna make it all happen himself. Does he have the damage? Get the damage trades. Duke is huge. 1 for 0 Fnatic, and the answering damage is not here. Caps goes in for another 3 kills for Fnatic. Make it 3 and a 5 versus 1. JackeyLove versus the world, and he simply cannot do it.
It's fucking good. We're so fucking good, man. We're gonna fucking win Worlds. I can't believe it.